Hello and welcome to Top of the World. Some of you recognise where we are. In addition to what we've already done, I've been to town this morning and I bought enough tongue and groove to floor that room up there. Now this timber's 4.8 metres, excuse my feet, no idea. I can't get that through the house. It's got to go in through that window. So I bought some help. And now we're just going to go upstairs and see if my theory can be turned into practice and we can load this lot onto them pallets and take them in through that window. Okay, so this is the room to which I'm going to lay a new floor. Somebody's actually put some old floorboards down there, they weren't there. Anyway, all of this has got to be ripped out and a new floor's got to be put down. I didn't do that. Not quite sure why. Anyway, so I don't know how feasible it is to get these windows open or how they're even in there. Oh. Okay. Well, they're not hinged. That's what I can tell you. Oh dear. Here we go. Right, give me a minute. Okay, so they were just nailed in, as I suspected. So we have a way in now. And we lay the boards down here. And then we can clean all this up and start laying along that wall. You can see there's quite a bit of work to do before we can lay the floor. But that's what we're going to do. Right, let's see if we can get these boards up at this window. Okay, another couple of feet and they just wouldn't have come in any direction. They wouldn't come in and go this way, so they had to come in and go that way, and I got about 2 feet left to get them in. Okay, so the windows were just put in there and had some nails, bent over. So I'm going to put them back in temporarily in the same way. It's scary because the glass is hardly in even. Okay. Okay. Alright. It's not ideal, but more stuff has got to come through the window, and the windows are just... Anyway. So that's all that in. And all the rubbish in here has got to go out, so there's no point in me fixing it too much, because before I can start laying I have to cut off all this old internal wall coming up, flush, level all the beams, and all the rubbish that's in there has got to go out, and I'm just going to hoof it out the window. Okay, delivered. Alright, so it's been 10 days since we were last back here, because we've just had to do that cabin move. Anyway, so I finished the cabin move yesterday, and I'm just starting to clear the back along here. A glass dump in the ceiling, I just don't even know. Anyway, this is my next obstacle. So we're going to cut those off below the joist level, and then we can lay, I don't know, 3 feet of boards before I've got to lift the rest and sort out all this mess. And some of it I want to keep up here, because I'm fitting out all of this room and boarding up that window, and I'm putting in 2 more windows, one there and one there. And the reason for that being is so that I can split this room in half and make 2 bedrooms out of this one room. So, that being the case, we don't want to take down anything that then we can then reuse up here. So I'm going to whip that out, and then we can get to and clean off these joists, level anything that's not level, and start laying some floorboards. Alright, well this is really frustrating, because I bought every saw in my arsenal with me to do this job, and there's an issue with getting to where I need to get to, with the blade, with this, with the all manner of issues I've got. Trying to cut these. Now, the only thing I really need to be aware of is right there is an electrical cable. Other than that, I think I'm good. But it's just, anyway, I got something. It's better than all that rubbish. Hey! Bit of dust never did anybody any harm. Right. Oh, love that smell. That made my brother upset, the fact I'm running the 2-stroke indoors and he's not here to take it all in. Comes from racing. What I know from experience, working in a good many of these houses now, there's nothing flat, there's nothing square, and nothing is straight in any of them. I don't care what your name is. So, with that in mind, rather than push the first board up to the wall and just nail it off, which is not good, I put a couple of boards together and squeezed them together so that I can see where the wall is going. Good job I done that. So we're tight at that end, and we're tight at that end. And we're definitely not tight there. And that is the bow belly that the back wall of this house has got in it. Bow, belly, whatever you want to call it. So these boards are straight and clamped together. And you can see that wall. Now none of that matters, because we're building a false wall, but you can see, if you look at it, you can see the belly out, right? And I can tell you, not only does that belly out, that won't be upright. So we just got to ignore that, because we're putting another wall and insulation on the inside of that. And now we can fix those first 2 boards off, and we're good. Is this wall square to that wall? No. Is this wall here parallel to this wall? No. 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 So you just have to do your own thing. But because we're creating a wall room from scratch, we can put everything right when we build the walls and put them square. And then we'll end up with everything square. I got a feeling the customer's going to want it all drywalled, plasterboarded. Right? That's really bad for getting plasterboard up here. Anyway, if that's the case, we need our room square because those boards are square. So now I've got those squeezed together, we can fix those first 2 boards off, which I'm going to screw. And the reason I'm going to screw it is you're not going to see the back of the board, so I'm going to screw along the back, and then I can push everything to it and nail it off with our new nail gun. So we've done a few jobs with a nail gun now. And this is our first paying job, as it were, with the new nail gun, which is just as well, because I can't nail anymore. All right, let's screw that off then, and then we can start laying these boards. So the reason I got these boards is these are much thicker than normal boards, and they've got the groove in the end. Right, this way I don't have to stop the boards on the joists, because the joists ain't square. Right, I don't know if you can see that. Right, nothing is. So that would be a waste of time if you were trying to do that, which I knew. So with the extra thick boards, it will take the bounce out. There'll be no bounce, or there should be no bounce. Also, I can put the joins where I want. I don't have to be after a joist, which means my boards run continuously. Right, and that means all my joins are random. So basically, you start with a full board, and then wherever it ends, you cut it off, and then you take the next end of the board and you start again, and you work all the way up there, and that ensures the breaks in the boards are random, because we can't stop on a joist, because the joists aren't parallel or level or anything like that. It also means we use every single piece of flooring. Okay, well, now I've said all that, let's get to it. Alright, so that's 7 boards laid, and I've just ended on my full board. So that's every 7 boards, and then repeat the pattern by laying a full board in first and then cutting it in line. Everything's going really well except these joists here. You can see all the joists are all regular, right? And even though I purchased the thickest board I can, when we get to here, they're so far apart. I've got a very small amount of bounce there. Right, one thing the customer said he didn't want was bounce. Well, I have got bounce there, because these joists, you know, everywhere else where like 700, 700, 700, well, this is like 1.3 meters. I don't even know what's happened. Why is nothing parallel or level? Anyway, I've got a bit of bounce between these, so I might have to put a strut in there and tee off of that or something. It's not bad bounce, but it is if you stand in one place. Maybe it's because there isn't enough boards on it. Maybe when I get some more boards on it, I'll take the bounce out of it. It's not bad, but it is there. Anyway, that's a good start. And then as I'm getting to trash, it's being hoofed out the window. We've got quite a pile out there already. There we go. Quite the pile of rubbish going out the window as I get to it. Okay. So now I've done my... Yeah. It just... Everywhere feels great, but when you walk on this bit, I can feel it flexing. You can actually see it flexing. That's good. All of this is good. All of this is good. But that's not good, that bit there. Right, I fixed the problem of the bouncy boards. So these are the original joists. So I've now put a 2x4 all the way through there and all the way through there. So that'll just... doesn't have to be as big as the original joist, it just has to take the bounce out of it. So having done that, and now come over here, there's no squeaking and no flex in the floor. Right, fixed. Okay, I'm looking at that one there. No, there is one there, isn't there? Yeah, okay. So now we're about even. Well, these ones are a bit smaller, but anyway, better be smaller than bigger, because so I've ended them there. I've got a cross brace going across there because I can't go underneath because this is in the way. So it'll just allow me to, by the time I get there, I'm 2/3 of the way, or a little there or thereabouts across the floor anyway. There'll be less of this pole to move this way because I've got to move it all this way to finish the flooring, or in this section, because I'm also going through into there and all down there and into this, and then at the other end too. So alright, well that'll do for today. Well, we didn't get as far as we thought, but you know, you've got to dig all the shavings out, and that's probably one of the reasons, well it's not one of the reasons, it's the main reason now why I don't price a job, because you just don't know what you're getting into. Alright now, it's the next morning. I've got another 7 boards down and I've moved everything. So I'm not quite halfway yet. But I've moved all the stuff that was over here. I've chucked lots more trash out the door. I've put some long bits down there that I want to keep. The reason I'm keeping some of this old timbers up here is because these are long timbers and they're wide timbers. And I've got a lot of fitting out to do here. And it's better to have them up here than chuck them out the window and bring them back in through the window. So not doing any harm for a minute. Okay, so my next plan is to get another, however many that is to there, and then I can put in the last 2 half joists. You can kind of see that, anyway, let's not go on about that. I've got another bit of internal, or 2 bits of internal wall sticking up there. Did I see those? No. Did I take chainsaw back? Yes. Okay. We've got an electric cable coming up there. All good. Right, let's get some more down then. It's going down nicely. So the secret to a tight floor are floorboard pushers. Floorboard pushers sit on the joists with some like ratchet grips, and it's like a reverse vice, and it pushes the floorboards up. I think I had 6. Anyway, they were stolen. Along with many other things that you've heard me say before, on the way here by the port authorities, or anyway, somebody helped themselves to. So, and I've never laid enough floorboards to justify buying them again, but this is how I do it, without floorboard pushers. So I screw a piece of wood along with one screw into each of the joists. Have I got a screw through the surface? Yeah, I've got no choice. And then I use sash cramps to pull the floorboards in by tucking it behind there. What would you do, Simon, if you couldn't screw through the face? Well, this floor's being carpeted, but if you couldn't screw through the face, you'd go back to doing it how I was doing it until I moved that. How I was doing it was I was hooking over the back floorboard and coming all the way forwards with said ratchet strap with a large hook, and then you have to put a piece of wood underneath the hook, this piece here. So if you couldn't do it like this, but you could do it at the edge before you fit, you kind of put that on there, and then you hook this over here and you put that on there so that the hook doesn't leave an impression mark on the floorboard. So that's how I was doing it, and then I moved all that wood into my own way, so then I had to do this. Anyway, it's going, it is going, and then obviously everything's secret nailed. Right, so I think it's tea time now, and be about 10:30 in the morning, I suppose. So we'll go and have coffee, and then we might put another 2 on, and then we've got to do these joists, carry these joists through to here. I'm using a bit of wood because there's so much glass in this. I've never seen so much glass in sawdust and insulation before. I don't know why the whole place is covered in broken glass, but I mean it is. So anyway, and I'm sure for some of you this is the first time you would have seen a house packed with sawdust. Well, everything's normal here, so this is how they did it. They built the house, and the sawdust that was created by the sawmill is what they packed everywhere for insulation. So then some of you are saying, well, that's a huge fire risk. Well, yeah. How do the houses burn when they catch light here? Real fast. And that's how they did it. Every building is the same. I'm nearly there. I am nearly there on this section. Of course, then I've got to pull all that wood out and then go down there. So what I've done is something I needed to do anyway. I've put up a couple of battens and put up the couple of boards there and put all the extra fill in the back there, because I've got to take that up to the ceiling anyway as a part of my next lot of works. But I've now got this last board to cut in all the way up, and if I'm being really honest, my relentless pace this summer, I can't even remember the last time I had a day off. Anyway, and don't get me wrong, that's not because of these films, that's not because of YouTube. That is just to get all the work I've got done so that I can fall back to my own stuff. But October, November, December, and even January, they're the months for doing all the stuff inside and the snow ploughing, of course. And normally I've stopped by now, but I'm still, you know, I'm just, it's things I have to do. I've got targets and things I need to deal with. So anyway, all this cutting in and on the floor, it's my back. My back. I can't do it with my back. Cripples me, it does. Anyway, I'm just feeling my age today, my brokenness. So it is 14:30 and I have been here since 07:30. So I'm calling it today, and then tomorrow when I'm fresh, when I've rested my back, I can get down and mark this last board up. This one up against the edge to cut in. I'm just not feeling it right just now. And yeah, we should get pretty much everything done tomorrow now. The main floor's down. We've got to do in there. I've got enough flooring for everything I need. So that, not this because it's already got a floor. This in, oh, you can't see that. Right. And then this, because this doesn't have a floor either. This is just all slung in there. So we're going to unsling all that and put a floor in there, and on the back side of this room. And that'll have everything floored. Yeah. There is going to be a step down there, which I wish there wasn't, but there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about that at all. Even if I take that floorboard up, there's still a step there because of, well, I don't even know why. It's, anyway, done like that. Right, so we'll be back in the morning and finish this. So it's like a day and a half so far I've been on this. But I have spent a lot of time getting the floorboards up tight. They don't pull together as well as you'd expect. This rubbish old wood it is. It's got to be Swedish wood. It's all bendy and twisty, and I haven't bought anything from the local merchants that's any good at all. It's all rubbish stuff. Anyway, right, we'll be back. All right, it's getting light enough now. We've got a bit more light than we did. So I started in the hours of darkness this morning. And I've got that edge all the way in. So this entire area now is now finished. So I've turned the corner here, and the joists go in every which way but you can possibly imagine. So I've got two choices now. I can either change the direction of this floor. See, my plan was, I knew the joist run this way through here. My plan was to run the timber lengthways this way, but I might have to take it in a few boards before I turn it. Otherwise, I'll be having to put noggins in all the way through there. So I've got that cleared out. I've got my single stack left, which I should have, in order to be able to do in there. And then, see, this needs doing in here, because this is just, you know, a mess. But also this up here. But everything is a different level. So that's way down. I mean, it's hard to say, to see the size of the step there, but it's another area that needs a floor in it. That needs doing. When you kind of look at what's happened here, it's hard to work out what anyone was thinking. Anyway, I'll give up trying to work out what other people were thinking a long time ago. Right, so let's get this done in here then, next. So in this type of building, this is very normal. There's a lot of houses built like this here, with this, and some are empty and some are closets. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see. You've got that there. There would have been another one here, but that's now insulated up because of the stairs that have gone down there. So, yeah, okay. We're adding to the pile down there. It's a lot of rubbish. All right. That's that done in there. Not that you can see very much. Maybe it'd be better if we... Yeah. Okay. That's that done. This whole step up, these floorboards, everything about this is bothering me. Anyway. So I made a little slope up, it's such a small height difference at this end. There. Okay, so now we're into this way. Otherwise, I wasn't sure. So that's done in there. All of this is done. Finished. And then I've done something I wasn't going to do, but needed to be done, so I had to do it anyway, as it were. So that's why I kept all those long boards. That's it, job complete. All floors done. Now I've cleaned up. I've also been having a major fire going outside. So I'll show you where we are. I have no idea what that was. Every floor is now done, well, except this one, which is already done. Don't worry about the little bit of water there. I'm draining the water and shutting the house down at the same time. You might have had a bit of water run across the floorboard there. Okay. All is good. I'm going to call that done. So, a lot of you will remember the nasty hole. It's still quite nasty, but it's not as nasty as it used to be. And we're just disconnecting, draining. Everything down there is as it was and is all good. The bathroom's just draining down. We've pumped the top tank full of air, blown back all these pipes, so we're all good with that. The wonderful porch, how does it look? Stunning. Look at this, still no snow. Very, very, very strange. Very, very, very strange. No snow, very weird. I don't know what date we are, 17th, 18th, 19th of October. Right, all the mess is gone. And then last year me and Charlotte was there and we cut down all the trees and cleared the garden and had a big pile there. Well, not only have I burnt that huge pile that was there, I've also put all the good stuff in the garage and all the rubbish in a pile, and it's all gone. So the garden's looking much better. I'm going to bring the gold goddess. The gold goddess. Anyway, the yellow dinosaur, whatever. I'm going to bring her next year and we'll have these stumps up where we cut down these big things. And yeah, all is good. Now what we've got to remember to do is first grass cut, we've got to bring the magnet and the metal detector and pick up anything that we've got lying around, because there'll be some nails and screws and little bits and pieces in there. Okay, well, that's the floors done, that's the porch done, that's the plumbing done. Now the house is drained down, shut for Christmas, and that's us done here. And now we are, believe it or not, it is Saturday afternoon, we are, believe it or not, going to another job tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Bye for now.